So this is supposed to be our first discussion online, but since I took the time to start during last face-to-face our topics, so we kind of skip some slides here. Although this is what we talked about last Friday. So definition, DE, just for you, if you want to have a screenshot also, yan, you can screenshot, or if you're on record, you can grab these. So samples of a DE, of course, this one has a derivative and its function. Okay. Then types. So again, we have ODE, depend on single variable, partial DE. So they involve multiple independent variables. Yeah. So if you want to grab the screen or screenshot this, so you may do so for your notes. Yeah. Or I think I gave you the tip on how to. Oh, I'm not sure. I think I gave you the tip on how to do notes or to save if you're unable to record. So you can open another blank presentation. If you're using laptop, you can open a blank presentation, and then whenever I show you the screen like this, you can grab or screenshot and then paste it on your blank slides. Then later on you can save. All right, and then you can continue whenever you have discussions. Or if you're using mobile phone or tablet, so you can open your own chat, your self chat in your messenger, or whatever messaging app you use that you can send pictures. So you can screenshot and then send to yourself. Yan. So you can send to yourself as you can use your chat as Google Drive or a Messenger Drive for your slides. And then later you can save separately. Okay. Although that needs more hand skills to switch tabs as compared to when you're using laptop. Okay, but I will give you time to screenshot. Don't worry. So homogeneous and homogeneous. Yeah, homogeneous for right hand side of the equation 0. For non-homogeneous right hand side of the equation non-zero. Although I think I'm not sure if I mentioned this. So you can play with the equation. No? Especially if, for example, this one has, let's say, for example, this one has e to the x on the given. Let's say this is the given, and you're asked to identify if it's homogeneous, non-homogeneous. So if you just look at this way, and you see, ooh, right-hand side is 0. This is homogeneous. But our definition for the left side, this is the right side. For left side, take note, this should only contain our y functions and its derivatives. So the x variables or the independent variables should be on the right side. So if you see something like this, you can play with the equation, you can transpose this. And what will happen? You will have a negative e to the x there. So the question is it still homogeneous? Okay? So it's no longer homogeneous because there is now a non-zero function on the right side of the equation, which is a function of y in terms of x. Okay, so take note of that. Okay, just because you see 0 on the right side doesn't always mean it's what homogeneous. Okay, you must verify the left side also if it contains only the y functions. Is that clear? Okay, okay. Then next one we have, so order and degree. So we did samples of this. I hope there's no more confusions, or I hope everything is clear with the order and degree. Order, highest derivative present in the equation. Degree, exponent of the highest derivative still, okay, in the equation. Not just the highest exponent present. Okay. Then initial values, you will see the scenario for initial values. You will see conditions like this or this included in the given. Okay. So general particular solutions, so contains arbitrary constants for general. Particular solution, so like what we did, so we solve for the value of the arbitrary constants and then reinsert it into the general solution like this one. to obtain the particular solution. So particular solution, it no longer contains just the C or the arbitrary constant. It has already a value. Okay, then family of curves. So we did a sample of this also. Let's say parabola. So the process is to get the differential equation pertaining to that family of curve. And then this differential equation we're going to solve. So of course using what I've introduced also, the variable separable method. Okay, wherein you just separate the x variables with the y variable. So the x group with the dx, so the y group with the dy. Okay, and then from there you'll get the general solution, or if needed also the particular solution, like on this sample. Okay, I think this is also what we did exactly during that time. So dy over dx equals x squared over y. So the process did here is variable separable process, and we also applied initial value. So there's an initial value given. That's why after getting the general solution here, so we also solved for the arbitrary constant value and then reinserted it to get the particular solution. So again, this part is your variable separable method. So once you separated x variables to the dx and y variables with the dy, so this is now integrable. So the term is integrable. Integrable. So meaning you can integrate. Okay, you can put the worm. Okay, so don't forget to have the arbitrary constant here. And now, as I've introduced, so elimination of arbitrary constants is the reverse process of this one. So from here, you have an arbitrary constant. We will reverse this, going back to the differential equation. Also like with this one. Okay, let's say for example, the answer here was y equals x squared plus c. Okay, so we will reverse that process such that we will arrive with this one, with this differential equation. Or on the other notation, y prime equals 2x. So meaning y prime contains dy over dx also. All right. And as I mentioned last time, so we have three processes that we will introduce or discuss. Okay, differentiation and combination, isolation of constants, and determinants. Okay, so we will go with these three one by one. So first one, we have differentiation and combination. Okay, so we will begin our discussion today. So differentiation and combination, our main process, like I've said, our main process with eliminating arbitrary constants is to differentiate, because what happens when you derivative or when you get the derivative of a constant, it becomes zero, right? So that's how we eliminate. But the problem is, what if your given looks something like this, wherein the arbitrary constants are with the product or multiplied with another function or an expression or part of the function like this one. So no matter how you derivative, or no matter how many times you get the derivative, and even if you get the 1 millionth derivative of this one, you will still have C1 and C2. Okay, so you can't just eliminate this by differentiation on this scenario. So what needs to be done is to combine. Okay, also take note, remember, how many times you get the derivative depends on the number of the arbitrary constant. So you see here you have C1, C2. So that's why we did first derivative and second derivative only. Okay? So again, please review the differentiation rule. So for this one, how do we get the derivative of an exponential? So what happened here? We copy, right? Copy. And then what happens here on the du? So you get the derivative of this part. So the derivative of this part is negative 2. So that's why you have a negative 2 here. Okay, and then copy the rest. Same goes here. copy. Derivative of 3x is 3. Then copy the rest. Okay, so that's for the first derivative. Since we need to do second derivative because we have C2, two arbitrary constants, so we need to get the second derivative before we do the combination part. So second derivative, so you'll just repeat the process. So again, careful with your algebra and also your differentiation rules because how do you get the derivative again? So copy. So this is copied. Derivative of negative 2x is negative 2 times negative 2. That's why you have 4 here. Derivative of this one is copy. Derivative of 3x is 3 multiplied by 3. So you have 9. So that's how you got it. So again, so please practice again your differentiation rules or samples if you still have them so that this won't be new to you or at least it will be easier to follow for you. Okay, how things happen in our solutions. Okay, especially my handwriting is uh, very very nice. Okay, so sorry about my handwriting. That's part of the process of understanding, part of the challenge. Okay. By the way, so I believe I already gave you a classwork. So I haven't actually opened yet how many turned in or if everyone turned in. Uh, you were 30, 35. Then how many turned in? Where's that? Not this one. No, no, no. This one. Okay. So turned in means you were able to turn in, right? So how about okay. So okay. So since this is just a test, no. So I also put in this is as ungraded. Okay. So I just want to also test out how the process will go. So it turned out, so just to let you also know for those, so there were 4 people. I'm not sure if they are unable to submit. Let's click one. I think they were unable to submit, or either they are unable to submit because their status here is missing. Okay, so either they were unable to submit or turn in, or they did not submit or late submission. I think someone reached out to me about that. So that's why their status here for the student work is missing. Okay. Although for now, I won't be requiring to. I won't be requiring you to submit or uh, to turn in because I set the deadline as close submissions after deadline. Okay. So if you weren't able to submit, so that's okay. No problem with that. So the next classwork, as I mentioned also, this isn't part anyway of your grading criteria. Okay, but it's up to you to practice. And also sometimes I give out bonus points. Okay, depending on who submitted first or if uh, let's say everyone submitted, so everyone gets a bonus, something like that. Okay, so next time, so try to accomplish the classwork and then submit here. Now, if there is a deadline for submission or if you are asked to submit or turn in uh, turn in your submissions. Okay, so let's go back here. Yeah. So we'll try to solve this. This is the given. So I'm not sure if you're aware. So this is the given. So you will see, let's say you will see on the sample, or sorry, you will see on, for example, on the assessments. Okay, so this is the given for this one. And then you will be asked to eliminate the arbitrary constant. So obviously, so you have C1, C2. So again, the process for this one is differentiation first. So after getting the derivatives or the number of derivatives required depending on the number of constants. So what's the next step? So the next step here is combination, or during your algebra also, this is also solving systems of equations. Okay? So I'm not sure if this term is familiar with you, or you're more familiar with, let's for say for example, three equation, three unknowns, something like that. I think you did something like this during your previous subject. So three equations, three unknowns, or two equations, two unknowns, something like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, I'm not sure how you did that with your algebra, or if you were taught calculator techniques or Caltech, but you won't be able to use that here. Okay, because there's so many letters here, few numbers only on your coefficient, so you won't be needing your calculator and to cut it short, okay, to solve this, because that's useless for now. Okay, now how do we solve the system of linear equation using combination, okay, in algebra? So this is not a one size fits all, or this is just a one pattern method. Okay, you can start with any combination. Let's say you can start by combining 1 and 2. You can start by combining equation. These are equations. 1, 2, 3. It means equation 1, this one is equation 2, this one, and this is equation 3. Okay, so let's label them as equations 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So again, you can combine any two to start. So how you prefer, or if you can observe or by inspection, if you can already see that, oh, C1 will be eliminated if I combine equation 1 and 2, something like that. Okay? Or oh, if I combine 2 and 3, if I add the equations 2 and 3, C2 will be eliminated, something like that. Okay? So now I will show you one of the methods, or one way, or one of the patterns to do it. But it's up to you to explore the other combinations that you can do. Okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. If it were me to solve this, so I'll be taking equation 1 and equation 2, so these two, and then I will add them. Okay, I will algebraically add them, the equation. So here's what we're gonna do. So you take equation 1, you copy C1 e to the negative 2x plus C2 e to the e to the 3x. So you can simultaneously do it with me. It's like watching TV, like watching Dora. Come with me. Okay. And then equation 2, y prime. Okay. Let's do it this way first. So y prime, and then here's a tip so that you don't get confused with the notations or how you write. So you see C1, C2, C1, C2. So make sure they are aligned when you write them. So if you need to provide some space here, so I will write equation 2. Negative 2 C1 e to the negative 2x. So if you want to avoid confusion, then I will write 3 C2 e to the 3x. Or if you just want to be more organized, you can do it something like this. I will adjust. So this one, okay. So I will adjust it here so that they're aligned. So C2 e to the 3x, because as I've said, I'm going to add. Okay, I'm going to add these equations. So add. Okay, so how am I going to add them? So I'm going to add uh every part of the equation, and if there are like terms, I can combine, right? Let's say for example, e to the negative 2x and e to the negative 2x are the same, right? C1, they're also the same. So meaning these two terms I can add algebraically. I can add their coefficients. Same as this one, C2 e to the 3x, C2 e to the 3x. I can also add their coefficients. Okay? Although you might have a question, why are you going to add, sir? Di ba we're going to eliminate. Okay? Uh, you might think, di ba you need to subtract if you want to eliminate. Now, here's another tip. I personally prefer to always add. Okay? This equation. So that's why I won't have complications with the sign convention, because for example, if I chose to subtract like this, and that's also okay if you want that process, if you want to do that process, as long as it's consistent and you don't get confused. If I decided to subtract this equation 1 and equation 2, I will need to distribute, right, the minus sign on every term. So every one of these will get reversed, right? This will become negative y prime, this will become plus 2, this will become minus 3. I might get confused combining the equations if I do it that way. So that's why I personally prefer to always do addition of the equations. So how do I adjust, or where do I adjust? Let's clear this out first. Ah, this one is C1, C1, E. Okay, so how do I prefer to do it? By adding. So my adjustment, since I'm adding, so I'm no longer adjusting, or I don't need to change negative. I don't need to change the sign conventions, right? So what do I do? What I do is I choose which to eliminate first. Okay, because more often than not, you cannot eliminate both right away. If you can, that's good. It's already end of the solution. But if you can only eliminate one at a time, one arbitrary constant at a time, okay, you can just choose one. And then later on, we can combine that with the other equations here. Okay, I hope you get the process so far. So what I will do here, I will choose to eliminate this one first, C1. C1 e to the 2x, the whole term. Okay, including the negative 2. So how do I combine it with the equation 1 such that the resulting, okay, the resulting here, when I combine these two, will be 0. So what do I need to add to negative 2? That's the question. What do I need to add to negative 2 to make it 0? Sige nga. Anyone? Yes? Sino ba na? Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. First to raise is Jerry Kizana. So what do I need to add to negative 2 to make it 0?
Positive 2 po.
Positive 2. Okay. So we need to add positive 2. Now, where are you? How do I make? No. Where? Huh? Huh? Ah, ah. Now, the question is, how do I make the equation 1, particularly that term, the C1e to the negative 2x, have a positive 2 coefficient? Okay? So, as you can see there, if you observe, you can multiply, right? You can multiply that term by 2 so that, let's separate for a while. it becomes from C1 e to the negative 2x, it becomes 2C1 e to the negative 2x, right? And now, if you add it with negative 2, so you add with negative 2 C1 e to the negative 2x. So what's the result here? 0. So from there, we have eliminated C1. But, okay, take note, very important, we can't just multiply 2 only to this term. We need to multiply 2 to the entire equation. Okay, before combining. Is that clear so far? So don't forget that. Not not because just because you need to eliminate one term like this one, okay? Doesn't mean you can only multiply 2 or whatever coefficient you need to this one. You need to do that to the entire equation. Okay? So let's try. Okay. So I'll multiply 2 with y. So this becomes 2y. No? And then since there are no like terms here, no y variable here, so I can just copy 2y. Okay? And then plus y prime. So y prime, also, you can combine those. So you just copy y prime equals. Okay? Now, I multiply 2 with this one. So what we did here, okay? So 2 minus 2. So 2 plus negative 2. So this becomes 0 now. And then this one, 2 times this one becomes 2 C2 e to the 3x. So 2 plus 3. So you'll have here 5 C2 e to the 3x. So far, you can follow so far. So it's simple. Okay. So now I've used equation 1 and equation 2, right? So I've combined 1 and 2. So what's the next step? So this one you can label now. Okay. For now, you can label this as equation 4 so that you don't get confused later on. So we're gonna use this again later on. Okay. Next one. Okay. So I've already used for this one. Okay. For this method, I have already used equations 1 and 2. Right. So I haven't used yet equation 3. So the next step will be to combine equation 3 and equation 4. Okay, equation 3 and equation 4. Now, how do we combine equation 3 and equation 4? Because as you can see, equation 3 still has C1 on it. Okay? So this is what I tell you about practicing your algebra. So what we can do to simplify using equation 3 and equation 4, I will do it on the next slide. So I will copy equation 4 first. Our equation 4 is 2y. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay. So we have 2y plus y prime. So we won't include the 0 anymore. So we still have 5, oh, 5c2 e to the 3x. Okay, so this is our equation 4. And then I'll copy equation 3. Equation 3 is this one. So I can just copy here. Okay, easy. Okay, so this is equation 3, right? So now, in your algebra, since equation 4 only contains only contains C2 e to the 3x, or particularly C2, and then C3 still contains this one. Okay? So even if we add them again, even if, let's say, if even if we add, you will still have what? You will have a C1 again, right? You will have a C1 again. Okay? So meaning, for these two, we can just algebraically add these two equations. Okay? So I'm showing you the thought process of, let's say you took, for example, equation 1, equation 2. So you eliminated C1, but there's still C2. And also going here, you have what? You still have 5C2 e to the 3x, or you still have C2 here to eliminate. Okay? So what I can do again, so it doesn't mean that I cannot use 1 and 2 already or anymore. Okay? So it doesn't mean I can use them anymore. We can reuse them in such a way that won't affect the equations, and also can help with simplifying this. So because we already have an equation for only containing C2. Okay? So for this time, so we can try using equation 2 and equation 3. Remember, we used already equation 2, right? For this one. So we can use that again, equation 2, and then equation, let's say, equation 3. Okay? Dala ko yun, ma'am. Ano? 0910. Para cellphone. 0910. Hindi ko pa wala na-chat sa group chat. Ano yan, chat? Sige, chat nyo na lang, sir. Kawawa na kasi yung dalawa. Plus pag. Okay. Okay. So again, you can reuse. Right? You can reuse the equations if needed. Right? So we'll try that. So we'll use equation 2 and 3. So we have equation 3 already, right? So we'll copy here equation 2. Ah, ah, all right. So I will put it down here. And then, so I will just clean this up a bit. That one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, so this is equation 2, right? Okay. So what I will do here, so again, I prefer to add. Okay, so I prefer to add. Now, what do I need to eliminate again? C1. So that what will be left is another C2 term. Okay, so you can see what where we're going. So what will be left here should be another C2. So we can combine the resulting equation 5 with equation 4. Okay, so you see where we're going here? So we're combining 2 and 3. So again, we need to eliminate C1 again here. So you have a 4 coefficient here for C1 and a negative 2 for C1 here. So what do we need to get a 0? Who's that? So we have Dodge Angelo Swarnaba. Negative 2. What will we need? What we'll do with negative 2? Are we going to eat it? What? Yes, sige. We will what? Subtract the whole equation 3. Something like this. Minus 2, something like that. So if we said we're going to subtract with to the whole equation. Also here, minus 2. Ay, sorry. Baliktad. Ah, Or do you mean we need to multiply? Asan na yun? Do you mean we need to multiply negative 2 to equation 2? Okay. Negative 2? Are you sure negative 2? Because let's try to isolate again. So if you're having a difficult time visualizing the whole equation, remember what we only need to zero out here is this part, right? This part. So if you're having a hard time, this is a tip. Uh, when you're going through with your solutions and you're having a hard time visualizing that, you can always isolate. So this is not a problem with me. You can show that you isolated your the part that you need to analyze. So for example, what we did earlier, right here, I isolated, right? So that we can analyze. So we can also do that here. Okay. So we have what you need to zero out here is the C1. So you have 4 C1 e to the negative 2x. And then on the equation 2, you have negative 2 C1 e to the negative 2x, right? So we need to zero this out by adding. So what do you need uh, to modify here in order that the result will be 0? Okay, so he mentioned that you need to multiply negative 2. So let's try that to equation 2. So if you multiplied here, so that you can see, if you multiply this with negative 2, what will happen? Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Now, if you add positive 4 plus 4, your result will become 8 and not 0. Okay? So you have to be careful in analyzing that. So what do we need to multiply to the equation 2 or on this part so that it becomes 0? So the answer there is positive 2 because this is already negative. Okay? So that's why also I told you earlier, I prefer to just add because if I did subtraction here, that will just add to the confusion. Minus, minus, minus. It's like doing tongue twister but with math. Okay, if you do something like that. So that's why I prefer to just simplify things, to keep things simple by just adding. Okay, and as you can see here, you already have a negative, so they will subtract anyway. So you just need to multiply 2. So if you multiply 2 with negative 2, it becomes negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4, there you'll have 0. So what do we need to multiply to the equation 2 is positive 2. Okay, so let's do it. So y double prime, so there's no y double prime here, you just copy. Plus 2 times y prime, so you'll have 2y prime equals. So this one, so we did that here. So you know that's already 0. Now for this one, don't forget you will distribute. So 2 times 3 is 6 plus 9, you'll have 15. C2 e to the 3x. So this is now your equation 5. Is that clear? So far, you're following? Okay, so I'm showing you a sample of the thought process that you can do. So I'm not saying that you will always need to combine equation 1 and 2 first and then 2, 3 and then no. So this is what I'm telling you during our orientation that we're doing processes here, not formulas. Okay, even the steps, you can't just blindly memorize that okay, I will need to do equation 1 and 2 and then 2 and 3 and then okay, so it's not always like that. Again, you can mix the process. You can try on your own. For example, here you can start with 2 and 3 like this one. Okay, and then after that you can do 1 and 2. I interchange the process, but you can do it that way. 2 and 3 first and then 1 and 2 and then now finally 4 and 5 this one. Okay, so I will rewrite equation 4 here so we can do it directly here. You have here 2y plus y prime equals, so I will align. So 5c2e to the 3x. So now, here's the question again. So I will add. So what do I need to modify with equation 4 so that I can zero out this part, this part. So as you can see here, you have a 15 coefficient on equation 5. You have a 5 coefficient on equation 4. This equation 4. So what do I need to modify with equation 4 or any part? Yes, Kyle Kamba.
Multiply by negative 3 po.
Which one?
Equation 4 po.
Equation 4. Okay, so you're seeing now the process. So we will multiply the entire equation 4. Dito na lang lagay. And by equation, sorry, by negative 3. You're saying now what the process is or how we do process here. Okay, again, it's not a one size fits all. Okay, but if you understand the thought process or the end that you need to arrive, okay, you will know what you do or what to do, or you can visualize what to do. Okay, if you're having a hard time, you can isolate. If you're having a hard time here, you can isolate like this. Just don't forget to apply what you did here with the entire equation. So let's do this. Negative 3 times 5. I will start to this one. So that's already what? Negative 15 plus 15. So that becomes 0. Okay, so that's cancel that now. So this one is still 0. And then this part, okay, so you gotta be careful here. You need to find the like terms because they will be combined this time. So if there are no like terms, so you just copy. So you have, let's copy this first. Y double prime. So there are no Y double prime below. You have Y double prime. Now this one, 2y prime. You have a y prime below that you also multiplied with negative 3. So negative 3 times y prime is negative 3y prime. Right here. Let's write it here. And then plus this one, 2y prime. Okay, so what's the answer here? Negative y prime. So that's your answer here, negative y prime. And then the last one, 2y times negative 3. So you have negative 6y. So this part is now your answer. What's this one? This is now, if you notice, it contains derivatives. So this is now the DE, right? Differential equation. That is also the solution or the answer to this given. So we've eliminated the arbitrary constants and we've resulted into a differential equation. Okay, y double prime minus y prime minus 6y equals 0. Questions, clarifications, concerns, violent reactions. You want to repeat the entire thing from the top? We still have 8 minutes. Okay, so again. So what I showed you is just uh, one pattern to do it. But you can, as I've said earlier, you can interchange the process. You can start with 1 and 3, equation 1 and equation 3, right? That's also doable, right? If you want to eliminate C1, you need to multiply this with negative 4, something like that. Okay? So any combination, that's why it's called differentiation and or combination. You can combine from your equations either of them. Okay, so with practice and with more practice and experience, okay, you can just visualize. Okay, it's easier to combine 2 and 3 because 2 and 4, these coefficients are like factors of each other or multiples of each other. These two also multiples of each other. Okay, also, I showed you, what I've showed you, the pattern is what? We started eliminating C1, right? You can begin or you can start eliminating C2 here. Do you see this? Okay? You can also start that way and you will arrive with the same answer. You must arrive with the same answer. Okay? Or else there's something wrong with your process. Okay? So you can try this at home or on your own time. You can start by eliminating C2. Then let's see if you will also arrive with this final answer. I should rewrite this properly. So that's y double prime minus y prime minus 6y equals 0. So that's your final answer for this one. So far, are you following with the process? So far, so good. All clear. Okay, so we're able to show you one method. So on Friday, so I got confused. So on Friday, we'll continue with the other two processes. Isolation of constants, this one. So as you can see here, isolation of constants from the name itself, you need to isolate the constant before you do the derivative. Okay, as you see here, so the constant got isolated on one side of the equation, and then if you do the derivative, it becomes 0. Now, the problem is that won't be accepted as your final answer unless there's still terms here to be simplified. So, of course, you need to simplify what you did on the left side of the equation, particularly what you differentiated, especially if there are rules like product rule. Are you seeing this? This is a product rule, right? Two variables. Product rule also. Also, there are trigonometric. So please review your differentiation rules regarding trigonometric, product rule, quotient rule. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need those. Okay? And then the other one, the determinant. So I mentioned this to you. Although if you're not familiar yet, so we're gonna do this also on Friday. So this one. So if you see here, you have two constants, right? A and B. So we're not using C anymore. So we're using A and B. So there are two arbitrary constants. So what they did here is they took up to the second derivative, as you can see here. So you'll have again equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. So this is also solvable using what? Differentiation combination. Okay, here. Okay, you can solve it by differentiation combination. Okay, but I will show you how to also solve this using determinants because sometimes that's easier or more direct. Instead of using or combining two, equation 3, equation 1, equation 2, by using determinants, this is solved in one go or by using the basket method. And then you'll have your solution. Okay? So don't worry, we'll also try using other methods with other samples. For example, with this one, we will try to use determinants in solving this one. And I will also show you some probably some techniques so that you can simplify your solution or at least you can visualize your solution in a way that is not confusing or to lessen the confusion because as you see here you're writing a lot of e to the 3x e to the negative 2x. Right, that gets confusing sometimes. So I will show you also an alternative way of writing your solution in such a way that the confusion will be less for you. Okay, so we'll do that also on Friday. All right, so I hope we can wrap up already our these topics, the elimination of arbitrary constants on Friday. And then I'll probably give you another set of classwork on Friday, so you can work on that to be submitted also on the Google Classroom. Okay, so for those who weren't able to submit on the class work number 1, so you can make bawi. You can make up for it for classwork number 2. Okay? So if you also want to practice or maximize your opportunities for practicing. Okay? So if there are no more questions, I hope you got all the screenshots ready or recorded. Okay, so if there are no more questions,